he said, whoa there, buddy. Whoa there, little buddy.
I don't know when you be recording or not. I gotta stay clean.
You gotta stay clean. I'm recording now. I'm recording now.
figured.
We're gonna keep it clean, shawty. We're gonna keep it clean. I gotta pour this caffeine up. These is this ain't no advertising, but this is a wonderful little energy packet I got here. 10 calories, 80 milligrams of caffeine. Get you up and get you right. y'all ain't seeing this because I told y'all this ain't an ad. Say something, Lamar. God, don't keep me trying to talk. I'm trying to tear this open with my teeths.
I wish I could have saw him. It open with his teeth.
They did see it. It's on the camera. Dang, these cheap. I mean, these cheap. I can't help it, dog. I be trying every episode, dog. I cannot help it.
That boy's a cusser. He's a cusser, guy.
I am, man. Listen, I get it from my grandmother, Marjorie Dalton, dog. She was out of control.
Oh, Marjorie sounds like she'd cuss you out.
She was 100%.
That's a cusser's name.
Yes, it is.
Shout out to Grams.
Yeah, shout out to Graham. Miss you, Graham. Listen, everybody in my family,
keep eye on us, Grams.
Curse like sailors, man. So I gotta get used to being in the public eye because y'all know how to take me.
Yep. You know what this is? It's not a movement. It's the only thing moving, huh? Dig that? Okay, oh yes, the war is coming. The gap keep growing with the wealthy and the slumming. So I use my mental riches for digits to keep them running till my chips come around. Yup, like a Funyun, bite down, get a taste of that Midwest flavor. While I'm at it, let Mr. Rogers just shout out to my neighbors. I ain't mention the journal when I say wake up, get paper. Not talking about Kobe when they mention a Great Lake.
But yeah, I'm shaking this caffeine up, man.
We just got to 10,000. Shout out to the 10,000. Thank you, guys.
Man, listen, appreciate y'all for pulling up 10,000 listeners, man. Like,
yes, sir.
Bro, listen, you know what I'm saying? It's been nothing but a blessing. You know, I've been trying to get here all my life, cuz. I'm happy we here now.
All my life I had to fight.
All my life I had to fight. But listen, man, if this y'all first time here, if this y'all first time here, this is Unlabeled the Podcast. I'm your illustrious host, Jerome Williams. I got my good brother Bernie in the building. And what we like to discuss, we named it Unlabeled, right? We named it Unlabeled because we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves because you never know where this can go. And we be having these deep conversations and we want to keep it that way because you never know where it's going to go. So it's unlabeled, unscripted, unedited. We coming off the top of the dome. I'm going to try to keep it clean, which I'm not good, very good. But we're going to try to keep it clean. I'm terrible. But if this is your first time here, you in for a treat. We like to tackle subjects from sports to culture, sometimes politics, and sometimes why. but we just like to keep y'all entertained and keeping y'all informed at the same time. So if this is your first time here, that's what you're here to listen to. And on that note, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I had to put on my
Rock. The Rock was in the building, man. I miss them young guns, bro. I miss them young guns.
Man, where they at?
Hey, I don't know. Somewhere in Philly hiding.
We should get them on the show.
We got to get him on the show, though. We're going to look him up. I think I got a line on Young Chris.
Cool.
Man. Hey, shout out to Benny Siegels, bro. I hated to stop that, but I ain't trying to get these Spotify bands. Benny be going crazy, man. I miss old Benny Siegel, man. God bless that man. I hate that he ruined his voice in the way that he did. But he did mention that he was going to use AI to reconstruct it. So hopefully that's in the plan here soon.
Yeah. Pre-Ozempic Beanie was good, bro. Man.
Nah, he ain't no Ozempic, man. This man got all kind of health issues. He pushing 60. I said pre-Ozempic. You out of control.
I shouldn't listen to the blogs. My bad, y'all.
No, you shouldn't. Dog, you out of control, man. But anyway, listeners, welcome back to another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. Like I said before, I'm your illustrious host, Jerome Williams. I got my good brother Bernie in the building. How you feeling today, bro? Bernard, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling real good. Real good.
Yeah, you sound better.
Thank you. Go ahead.
No,
I was just saying I've been taking care of myself, trying to recover.
That's what's
The
up.
fans miss me, B.
They miss you, B. Hey, people get shot every day, B. But if y'all didn't know, man, last episode he was sick, so we wrapped it up early. I didn't want him to strain his voice too much. He would have continued because he liked that, but it was weighing on him a little bit. So I decided to call it. I threw in the towel. The corner threw in the towel.
Hey, sometimes you gotta. Sometimes
you got to. Sometimes that's a bar.
Yeah. Hey. Rest in peace, my homie Jabril Cunningham. That was his saying. Gone too soon. Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes, yeah, man. Rest in peace, man. Listen, but where I want to start at is because me and you that always have, like I said, it don't matter, man. We can talk for hours. If I'm telling y'all gonna sign up for this Patreon. The more y'all start signing up for this Patreon, y'all gonna start getting this show unedited, unscripted. Y'all gonna start getting it the real, and y'all gonna hear conversations that we would never have in public. You got to pay for them kind of conversations. You know what I'm saying? So when we get there, we're gonna get there. But this conversation that we're about to have right now about high level thinkers being ostracized in our community, man. Like me and Burner are kind of victims of this. Me and him don't typically think or act like the stereotypical quote unquote black person. I'm bringing that up. Why? But Burner, I don't know. I'll let you take the reins. I did enough talking already about how your line of thinking doesn't align with the typical quote unquote black person, and how you've been ostracized for that over your life.
Oh man, that's loaded and that's deep. But I would say the most simplistic way to communicate that, in my opinion, would be a thought process that minimizes the victimization of oneself. So, most people, and we've all been guilty, but most people always want to get stuck and talk about being a victim. And as an employer, I've learned that so much more these past 5 years is that most people are victims, and then the B to that will be a hater. And so when you have a thought process that's more solution based, where hey, I can understand XYZ happen, but what's next? You shun for the most part, because again, instead of a person receiving that and accepting accountability to understand, hey, I have a choice here, people would say you hating on them. People would say you think you all that. And that's even weird to hear come out of my mouth, because it's like it's tongue in cheek. Because people, if I was depressed, people would be like, "Man, you that guy. Don't kill yourself." But when you're doing well for yourself, people say that as to try and chop you down. Like, "Man, you think you all that?" Well, yeah, I do. We should. Or people will say, "Man, he think he better than us," or "He better than that." Yeah, I do, and we all do. I'm just willing to admit it. And so that's kind of what, the simplest way of putting it is, when someone comes with that negativity and you like, man, okay, what next? We got to stop being a victim, right? We got to stop pretending that we're so important in everybody else's story. And what that comes down to is that you may not, it may not be for you to advance in Jerome's story, right? It may be for Jerome to make a decision that doesn't include you. Now what? Instead of you being a victim, saying Jerome this, that, and the third, your story is to figure out what's next. So
that part. And what, like I said, and I understand the flip side of the argument, right? Because we have a lot of issues in our culture, and in order to fix a problem, you first have to acknowledge the problem, point it out. But I'm also a solution based thinker. I'm also one of those people that, now what? I get tired of the people who want to hang in the problem. For every solution, you give me a problem. You know what I mean? Like, or every time we talk, it's always a problem. You can never make progress that way. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm all for critical thinking and what was the word I'm looking for, bro? Mapping out a plan to navigate stuff. But I just don't want to dwell on a constant problem, bro. That bothers me so much when we do that in our community.
facts. And I'll personalize it. For example, I remember when the Black Lives Matter thing was very prevalent, and all this race stuff, and people would act like, they didn't know me well enough. I'll preface it there, but they would act like I didn't have a say because I got a white wife and mixed kids. And I'm like, it's me. It's me. You know, Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors, you know, whatever the case may be. The main important thing about that is being with a woman who like you. That's a whole nother issue. A lot of dudes out here running, chasing women that don't like them. They don't have a purpose, and a woman wouldn't be willing to serve a purpose if they had one. But it's that type of stuff where people act like you ain't qualified for stuff. But again, they find any little thing to chop you down by because you're solution based. And at some point, we got to stop giving people, we got to stop giving them rope, right? Because as much as I can understand, I also don't understand. Because if you looked at history, if you looked at everything else, we could talk about that till we blue in the face. It ain't got nobody nowhere. It ain't going to get us nowhere. So hop out the shade room and get to work because ain't nobody coming to save you.
Mm-hmm. And the caveat of that as well is me and you both like to say results matter, right? And with that, like you said, it doesn't matter. Well, I will say it does matter how you get there, but the results matter. A lot of these people who are doing all this complaining and ostracizing other communities and self-segregating and all that type of stuff, they don't have the results that garner anything. You can't even respect their results. These are people that are not even impressed with themselves, so they ain't impressed by what others do. You know what I mean? I don't. If you're not impressed with yourself, I don't know what to tell you, fam, because I'm very impressed with myself. I know what I came from.
That part.
Yeah. So, but also this, when you mentioned something earlier when you said about having white wife and kids, man, I know this brother. I've known this brother for years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would matter who you with. It would not change who you were.
Bernard.
It wouldn't change who you were, but it's a lot of it's something to be said in our community. I know a lot of these Dr. Umar talking points where it's like, oh, we don't dwell in the snow and all that type of stuff, man. Like, nah, listen. It's certain people out here, right? These and y'all know the type of men. A lot of, especially us 40 plus, we know the type of men. You can see them from coming around the corner. It's like, oh, I expect that from him because he with a white woman, or he got that because and of a white woman. And this brother ain't one of them. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to draw the separation there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, that's where their mind immediately goes to. You know, and I have a couple friends that date interracially, and it would not change who they are. They are with people who love them, that are on a program, and it's a lot of brothers that's out here and that's not like that. They own a woman's program. You know what I mean? And it don't matter what color, race, or creed you are. Like these type of brothers are leaders in their household.
And it's like, as far as the Dr. Umars of the world, he's single. He can't tell nobody more than I can about relationships.
That part. I won't listen.
Don't work like that.
Nah, I'm black and I don't listen to him about no relationship. Man, this dude better go
somewhere. He just be talking.
He just be talking. But that's
he just be talking.
Yeah. But that was just a little something. Just a little insight. Absolutely. I wanted to get a little personal, but like it's a way deeper conversation for that. But y'all got to sign up for the Patreon. We can't give y'all all the game for free.
Also, we just need to respect that it's levels to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I just tell people, you got to be mad with God. Don't be mad with me. I'm just a small vessel. Be mad with God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what did Callis say? All we do is win. Anything we touch, anything we do is going to be successful.
That part.
That's just how I go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, people.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Yeah.
Really not, but I am.
Mm-hmm. But back to the point, so before we digress too much about being ostracized in the community for being a high level thinker, I like to say high level. Y'all hear me? The first thing people see, or first thing that come to people's mind when they see black podcasters with microphones is they think we gonna come up here and bash women. Black male podcasters. That's 9 times out of 10. That's all. We don't do that here. That's not what we showing up for. We showing up to kind of help and add to the community, not detract or distract from the community. You know what I mean? We not here on no deconstructive stuff. We're trying to be constructive here. You know what I mean? And y'all got to pardon me. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I ain't college educated. I'm just a smart dude. Like, so if I ain't saying something the right way or something that you ain't like it, that's why. I'm just a regular old hood dude from 28th and Galena, fam. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. So sometimes I gotta find the words, but yeah, that's the point and the purpose of this, you know. And like I said, our results show that the way our lifestyles are. You know, us personally, you know, I ain't talking crazy. I ain't talking on the side of my neck. That what?
I was about to say, feel it.
Feel it.
Come on.
Right. But yeah, man, that's happened. That's happened a lot in my life, being ostracized, bro. And I don't know how we fix that, if it's even a solution or if it's even warranted. Because honestly, I don't care. Like, I just keep pushing. I've always have. Like I said, I don't subscribe to victimology at all. You know what I mean? And this is going to segue into another conversation. But
And as we segue, hey guys, see you at the top or see you from the top.
that part.
I'll always wave.
That part, man. Before we segue into the overall picture, one other thing I did want to bring up is people who are outside the culture that I might be friends with. Man, I almost get borderline offended when y'all try to loop me in with these stereotypes, man. Or you come to me to talk about why this and why that in the black community. Fam, go read a book. Don't hit me with that. I'm almost offended by it, fam. Like, if you know me, I'm trying to keep it clean for YouTube, bro, but I don't want to get too passionate. I'm gonna go off burner.
Let the passion talk.
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna go off burner. But listen, man, don't come to me like I'm some low level man. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck, bro. Do not disrespect me in that fashion. I allow people the space to be themselves. I allow people to come and have a dialogue with me, but don't talk at me, and don't think that because I do something in a certain fashion that it might not align with you, that I don't understand what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And so tread lightly when it comes to me, because I'm a nice, jovial fella who means well, but I also have a very, very dark side. Burner has seen it before. So please tread lightly.
Those military guys.
I'm allowing y'all the space. I'm allowing people the space and for discourse. I love having conversation. I love to see your perspective, but you also have to understand my perspective and where I'm coming from, and don't just project your feelings and thoughts on me in these public spaces that I'm a part of, that I'm allowing y'all to engage with me on. Because like I said, I'm allowing you to. Because if I let my 28th Galena side come out, it's not going to be the side that you expect. It's just not. So I'll leave it at that. And I got to put a time marker for that swear word. About 20 something minutes. I think I'm good.
Right.
Clip that up, bro. And that was the nice version of that. Y'all ain't gonna get too much more of me being nice. I promise you, not fam. But now that we got the housekeeping out the way, let's go ahead and hit some of these topics, man. I want to segue into Wallo. I know y'all seen this clip going around about Wallo saying, forget supporting a business because it's black. He said we should support business because it's a good business. He said we shouldn't. Basically, he was trying to say, do not marginalize yourself by calling your business black. You should be focused on doing good business, and don't support a business solely because it's black. You should support it because it's a good business. I want to know your thoughts on that, Burner.
My thoughts is, if I'm being honest, support me, period. I don't care if it's because I'm male, if it's because I'm black, whatever, but I'm not promoting it any type of way other than good business. Furthermore, the comments he made sound just like something I say, and that's why the other pod I said, we in the information stage based off popularity. If you popular, you can lie all you want and people gon' run with it, right? You look at the head of the world right now. When do we start fact checking people in real time and they still be lying and people still be okay with it because they have enough conviction? But no, I agree. Some point, you got to keep the main thing, right? The stuff that people will love you for, they will hate you for. Because I've seen, shout out to the meal, but I've seen people get on there, they be talking about the restaurant one day is good, have one bad experience, it's 10,000 comments going in, shaming the small business. So, I don't take none of that stuff lightly, but I also understand, man, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Get your money, focus on your service and your business, and keep it pushing.
Do you think that hurts businesses by saying that they black-owned businesses?
Yeah, I think it can. I don't think it is. I don't think it does, but I think it can. Because if we being fair and playing the advocate here, if somebody said, "Man, this is a Arab only business," I probably wouldn't shop there because even if I don't know what it is, I may not think they have something for me because I ain't Arab. I don't even think it got to be racist or prejudiced. I just, if you said, "Hey, this is a black owned beauty supply store," I'm going there because I'm black. I got stuff in my hair. Somebody non-black may be like, "You only got stuff for black people hair, and I ain't got that type of hair."
Right.
So I think, so again, I think you do marginalize yourself, and the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's gonna be some people who don't mess with that because they may feel like that it ain't all inclusive, and they may not feel included, or they don't mess with you because you black.
Yeah, that part. So it is a slippery slope, man. And I mean, and regardless of the fact, sometimes somebody might walk in the business, see it's black people, and they might just decide to turn around and walk out. You know what I mean? So
That part.
I mean, it's a slippery slope because we never know and understand people prejudice. But one thing I just want to be careful of is it's bad business no matter what color. Like I always like to tell the story. I've been in black owned businesses. It was a restaurant here in Texas. I waited, got 30 minutes for my food. Then when I got my food, my eggs wasn't there. I waited another 15 minutes for eggs. I was done eating. So I had to wait an extra 15 minutes for eggs. I was upset because it was a breakfast brunch spot. You know what I mean? Line was out the door. They just didn't have the capacity to fill it. It was plenty of people there trying to support, but they didn't have the capacity to fill it. So yeah, I've been frustrated in that aspect before. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to black owned business, and that's just one experience. But I've also had the experience where I've ordered something from a billion-dollar company with $1 billion market cap. And the product came to me dysfunctional, disformed. I ordered a vacuum from Hoover. I think it was Hoover. I don't want to say the wrong brand, but whatever. I ordered a vacuum from them. I actually got it off Amazon. Came with the warranty instruction, everything registered for a warranty. A year later, it stopped working. I'm contacting them about the warranty. They sent me the wrong part. Then on top of that, they after going back and forth and exchanging with them, once they saw my receipt was from Amazon, they just said, "Oh, well, this doesn't qualify for our manufacturer warranty anyway because you got it from Amazon." You know what I mean? So I've had issues with businesses, just business being bad. You know what I mean? Even these $1 billion corporations, and I understand that in our community, a lot of us ain't dealing with that kind of capital or market cap. So it's like, dang, like I should almost go in there borderline expecting to have a little bit of issues with services because I just understand the plight of the black community. But at the same time, should I continue to deal with it or continue to support it? Let me ask your thoughts on that, because this is something I'm working on in real time right here. You know what I mean? It's not something that I've actually gave a whole lot of thought on, but just sitting up here thinking about it in real time, because we know the issues that we face in our community. Like, we can't even fundraise for ourselves or give grants out publicly without organizations being formed to shoot down said grants or funds given to us because they're saying it's unconstitutional. I've spoken about that several times on this show. So I just want to know your thoughts on that.
My thought is, the business don't have feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the people you deal with. It's the employees, and it's always easy to blame the business. For example, for what we do, certain positions is high turnover, so they make a lot of mistakes. But the challenge is that particular position is like bottom of the totem pole. It don't pay as much. You try and retain and get the best talent you can, but ultimately it is what it is. So there's a lot of turnover. I would assume that be the same thing in any restaurant. Waitresses and waiters don't make a lot of money. That's probably the biggest service industry is food, and you have to anticipate whether you're going to Ruth Chris or Ponderosa or Country Buffet. You're at some point you're going to have a bad experience because that employee is probably having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't attribute service and stuff to business per se, because I know it's people running the business. Mm-hmm. And as an employer myself, you can have the best SOPs, training, the people who you think, are equipped with the tools, plus have the ability to perform tasks, and it's all great until it's not. So I look at it a little bit different, because good business is trying to put the right people in the right place. Unfortunately, you don't know until a string of events of them kind of missing the mark to understand that they're not good for business.
Yeah, well, let's move it off the service industry then, because like I said, I've ordered plenty of beard care products, skin care products from black-owned companies that were phenomenal. I use the toner I use specifically is from a black-owned company, Melly. They used to have it in Target. I don't know if they're still in Target because it's DEI stuff, but I just get it off Amazon. Then it's a couple other beard products that I use from Melanated Kings. Shout out to them. And they've been phenomenal products. Got to my house on time, everything, and the products work as described. You know what I mean? So,
Bruh,
yeah,
I was using some black girl off Instagram. I can't remember her name. It was like last year. She had this apricot type face scrub wash. It was phenomenal. It took me a while to get it, but I didn't associate that with her being black. I associated with her being a small business, and you just got to work through the kinks.
Yeah.
The product was phenomenal, but I could see how somebody else would be on there because I've been 4 weeks and I still ain't got it. Yeah, them some processes where there's some opportunity for growth, but when you get it, it's good. So sometimes, man, people ain't never owned nothing and they really did nothing. So again, it's always easier to critique.
Yeah.
And I think the easy thing is to say, I ain't messing with black-owned business because this girl was actually marketing as a black-owned business. So again, it's one of those things where you kind of pigeon your hole because you kind of setting a precedent because this is what you coming up and saying. So now people may associate that with black-owned business. People who ain't got no sense, but we know it's a lot of them out there.
I know when the Bucks won the championship, it took me almost 6 months to get my championship Bucks hat. They won it when they won the championship. I didn't get my championship Bucks hat until almost September from NBAstore.com.
And we don't blink an eye.
And we don't blink an eye. So I don't think that conversation about black-owned businesses serves our community at all. It just puts a stigma on it. So I think we need to move past that, and we need to talk about how either some of these companies it's a lot of black hair care products, so some of them need to either collaborate to streamline these processes, or we just need to be patient if we know we ordering from a black owned company. I don't like that. Oh, it's just good business, bro. Come on, fam. Like we talking about by 2056, black people will have a zero net worth, right? And I think we need to have some sort of grace when it comes to black-owned businesses for sure in our community. Because I get it. Like I said, I understand the stigma that might come with marketing. I understand that, it's good business. But at the same time, we have to understand where a lot of these people are starting at. A lot of these entrepreneurs probably ain't 5 years old. You know what I mean? Right. We know solopreneur and entrepreneurship got big after the pandemic, especially when it came to black-owned businesses. A lot like all these initiatives that were started happened after George Floyd's death. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? So I think this comes with a little bit of patience. Go ahead though.
No, I did want to say, however you market your business is how you market your business, but still look for them grants. If they giving out minority-owned grants, etc., take advantage of it. Always be on the lookout because there is people giving out money for that stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it's my opinion, and what do our opinion matter? But I think again, you're cutting off a potential market when you specify what you are or what you believe, and it's outside of what you provide.
Yeah, and I've talked about that on the show before. When I think it's a huge problem about this need for self-expression. Like we are there in a society where everybody is wearing what they are on their shirt. Don't nobody need to know outside of you being a sports fan of a large market team. I don't think nobody needs to know what your sexuality, what your thoughts is on your race and your politics, all that, because it immediately makes people not want to engage with you when you see somebody like that in public. The moment I see somebody with a man, forgive me, but the moment I see somebody with a rainbow shirt on, a certain hair color, I'm like, oh, here we go. I know I'm gonna have to get my man. Excuse me, what's your pronouns? Like, I already know what I'm gonna have to do, bro. And it's just a hurdle that I'm not willing to jump over sometimes, fam. And I hate to say it because I don't want people looking at me like that, but I hate to say it, but it's because you're this need for self-expression. You know what I mean?
Right. Facts.
Yeah. So and that's just my experience. I ain't saying I'm gonna avoid that person. It's just like, God, here we go. This might be a challenge. Like I said, I ain't college educated, fam. I'm just like,
You gotta put friend in your vocabulary. Hey, friend.
I'm not a friend. My pronouns are. You can laugh out loud, Bernie, dog. Don't make me laugh on the podcast by myself, dog. While I'm being funny.
Clean. I'm clean here, guys. I'm clean.
But anyway, dog. But no. But like I said, that need for self-expression definitely can alienate you from people doing business with you and whatnot, and it's very unfortunate. I know I was being lighthearted there, but it's very unfortunate. So, like I said, how you market is how you market, but. Hopefully we can come to some resolution, because I really hate to see black-owned business and business owners struggling with that. You know what I mean? Especially when you got a good product. Like, golly, man, it's so many products that I've gotten, like you said, off TikTok, Amazon, and things of that nature, Facebook, that were phenomenal products. And do we need to take an intermission?
No, man, they still working on stuff, bro.
Oh yeah, they destroyed the city. Had destroyed the front of Burner's house, so he's over there. He out here listening, like, what's that noise?
You know, I gotta walk out there in my robe, like, hey, man.
You guys got to move that stuff out of here. you gotta get your Karen on, dog.
Right, K-Ron.
That's what you got to get on. But to wrap up the topic too, bro. I didn't fully disagree with Wallow's take, because I understood where it was coming from. But also, like I said, I think we just need to have some grace in our community, and the talk around being a black-owned business needs to change. Because it seems like everybody acts like, yeah, I had this experience, and like I said, it's a lot of complaining. And then in a minute, we're gonna be complaining that we don't see no more black-owned businesses.
Yep,
that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
yep.
Just like give them some grace, y'all. Give them some grace. All right, on to something more entertaining, something that a lot of y'all might care about more. Excuse me. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are scheduled to have their jerseys retired from Colorado State football. Their jersey numbers retired. Burner, I think I'll let you go, and then I'll counterattack, because I'm letting you know right now, I already don't agree with this.
I love it.
You love it.
Here's why I love it.
Go ahead. You probably got more statistics. Mine is all personal feelings, so go ahead.
You know what? I got them. I'm not even going to use them, because this is a personal feeling thing. It's a personal situation. I will say, in line with the NIL, all these collectives, right? People are just now starting to get their just due, right? We live in a society where participation awards matter. So people who actually are setting records and making history, they should be acknowledged for that, right? Because at the end of the day, I know y'all love LeBron, but now every day you see the guy 40 and a half, which is fine. I love that. But I think that should be equal across platforms. Colorado, are you kidding me? 2 first-round draft picks, absolutely historical. And them records that they set, it probably just ain't going to happen again. And if it does, that's cool, but it's never happened before. And you had legends that played there. Cordell Stewart. I'm just going to name him. But at the end of the day, they should get their just due. And I think that's something real simple to do, is to put them 2 names, them 2 jersey numbers in the rafters, or whatever it looks like. That also builds for the future, because it's like, hey, look up there. You can have your name up there next to Travis Hunter. You want to come here? So I think it's smart too, but also I think it's deserved. Because again, that school was trash, and for them to come there and do what they did in such a short period of time, I think it's a great way to honor those players and let them go on about their life. Nobody loses here. Nobody's hurt.
Okay. Yeah, and I get it. Now that you said that about records, this is why I like to, in sports talk, just for clarity, in sports talk, I like to go strictly off statistics, And not strictly, but because sometimes the eye test, but a lot of times, to be fair, I like to use statistics. But in this argument, the only reason I was against it is because I don't feel like they won enough.
And that's fair.
I understand that they got a winning record, but like y'all ain't brought no championship, y'all ain't no bowls, no nothing. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, why are they retiring they jerseys, fam? I just don't agree with that because they ain't won enough.
I agree, but the difference is it's not like a whole collegiate thing.
Right.
In Colorado's eyes, no, this is the most winning we've almost ever seen. We never had this much attention. We ain't never had this much star power. We ain't never had this recognition. And it's solely because of these 2+ dad. And so I think it was a good way for them to just cement that in history, and give them their just due. But from an NCAA standpoint, nobody care about that. This is singularly a Colorado thing, saying, hey, we want to embrace some people of colors, the Black, Latino, etc. Population is up by 63%. Man, it's something to be celebrated, and I love that they giving the flowers to the players. Yeah, the coaching is cool. That's I ain't taking nothing away from Prime. But the star power of these kids now, we mess with Prime. These other kids don't, how it go.
Yeah,
they don't know.
They don't know.
Shedeur is that guy. That Travis Hunter is on Twitch and all this other stuff. So they like rock stars. And so I'm glad that they celebrate them as such.
That was very well said.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah. Because we were just in Colorado, so we saw like you could everywhere. I don't care where you was at in Colorado. They have Buff stuff somewhere.
Yep.
Every Walmart, every grocery store. Because Colorado's pretty dope because it gets cold there, so they sell winter clothes in every store. It don't matter where you at. I was thoroughly surprised by it. I'm like, hey bro, let's run to Walmart. Then we go to a local grocery store. They got better T-shirts in there than Walmart.
Bruh.
I was like, man, I shouldn't have wasted my money. But yeah, so I can't understand that from that aspect of it. Like I said, 2 first-round draft pick. If you can run down some stats, so we can kind of actually add to that argument, because like I said, I was totally against this. Like I think that's reserved for champions. I think that's reserved for winners. And like I said, 2 great seasons, these two winning seasons after being losing for so long. I get it, but it's I thought I feel like that was specifically reserved for winners. But if you can give me some stats that'll help add to your side of the argument.
Well, let me just give you one. So Shedeur Sanders is one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in college football history. That's every team now. We ain't just talking about Colorado. So now his career, 50 games played in 4 seasons, he completed 1,267 of 1,808 passes. That's 70% for 14,353 yards and 134 touchdowns with 24 interceptions. So that right there alone is a NCAA-wide one of the best statistics in history. If we went to Colorado specifically, it would be off the charts because none of them, they don't really have, other than Cordell Stewart. They got a few others, but not on the level of Shedeur. Okay. His body of work really was phenomenal. And then as a football fan and watching this, he did it with a system that didn't have an established line, which we kind of saw some of the glimpses. But again, even with not having an established line, pretty much having high school players, he still threw thousands of yards in a season. It's unheard of. Yeah. So that guy's crazy.
Well, I'm going to be fair. Okay, shout out to Colorado.
Shout him out. Come on,
all right, go Buffs. I hope they have a better season next year. I hope they actually – oh, my goodness, man. But all right, you win. I throw in the towel, bro. You got this one. That's on you. That's on you. I ain't gonna be a hater just for the sake of being a hater. But yeah,
Thank you, bro.
No,
Thank
no.
you, bro.
You know that ain't even my character, bro. So
Right.
so, I can't even. I couldn't do it if I wanted to.
I was trying to make good content.
Right, I was just trying to make good content. That's all I was doing. But all right, man. All right, you got it. You got it. Okay, so playing tournament. We here now. I was 2 for 2. 2 for
Man,
2.
it's bracket.
Yeah, it's bracket. I said Orlando and Golden State, and they cooked. And I did not know. Cole Anthony, forgive me. I was not familiar with your game. That boy is a nightmare, fam. Like, he is a nightmare. Cole Anthony is a bucket, bro.
Mm-hmm. He got the cooking. I almost see when players be having long hair for a long time, and then they cut their hair.
Yeah.
I almost be forgetting about him a little bit. He one of those guys. Like, I always vision him with like long braids. You know what I'm saying? But he started cooking, man. Shout out to him, or dreads, whatever they were. But he started cooking.
Bro, that dude, man, like I was thoroughly impressed with his game. Like I said, I was not familiar with it, bro, but he showed up when it was time for him to show up because what's our guy named Power Forward? He was having kind of a bad game. And Cole Anthony stepped up, bro, and he took over. And it was like who were they playing, bro? Atlanta. It was like Atlanta had no clue what to do with Cole Anthony and Orlando center. So they had to change their whole game plan. And then it was just too much. It was too little, too late. Even to the point where Trae Young got frustrated and they ejected him from the game.
Yeah, bro, it was over.
Yeah, it was over.
Banchero.
Banchero. Yeah, I'm tripping. Beauchamp is for the Bucks, bro. I'm getting old, man. I can't remember all these players now. Yeah, Banchero. But yeah, Banchero, he had a decent game, but like I said in the first half, but Cole Anthony came alive, and it was like he was willing them to win. He was not going to let them lose that game, and you could just see it.
Yeah, X Factor for sure.
Yeah, he was the X Factor for sure. So shout out to Cole Anthony. I did not get to catch the Golden State Warriors game. I saw bits and pieces of it throughout the night. I had to get caught up on Last of Us. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm bigger. I love that show, so I had to get caught up on Last of Us. But I did check in from time to time, and it looked like Jimmy Butler wasn't going.
Nah, it was a good game too. It was a good game, but Warriors pulled that thing out. But man, they don't look that good, bro.
Sad to say. Yeah. Yeah. I knew that with Edge, bro. Jimmy Butler and Steph is just too much star power, bro. It's just that too much playoff experience. You know what I mean? Like even with them playing small ball, and Jimmy Butler, we know what he can do, and he showed it last night. You know what I mean? Like he almost had 40. Him and Steph both almost had 40. Like that. Like I said, Jimmy Butler damn near single handedly would win games by himself in Chicago and Miami. So we really get to see it. We got to see him be that X factor again last night. Him and Steph. So it was like they just was not going. They was not going to let them lose that game.
I agree. The only thing, this may be unpopular to say. Kill me in the comments. I will respond, just so you know. I'm tired of Draymond Green, bro.
Why is that?
I'm livid with him. Bro, he just kind of annoying, bro. His stats, he be producing though, but he just annoying. He just real annoying to me. I don't know what it is. Like even last night, he was like 1 for 8 or something like that. He was like 0 for 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. But then he did have 6 rebounds and 10 assists. You know what I mean? So he's still producing.
Yeah.
It's just something about his aura and I bet he's a phenomenal teammate. Yeah. But it's something about his aura, bro, that's just frustrating to me that I just be like, stop.
Do you think it's because his ego is bigger and better than his play? Because that's really what it is. Because like I said, I love him on Golden State. He's a playmaker for that team. Even if he ain't scoring, he's gonna play make, which your stats just proved. But like I said, his ego and his personality is like is bigger and better than what he plays like.
Right. And listen, he's a vet. He gonna have to figure it out, bro. You at least got to get 10 points. Because 38 and 37, that was a beautiful game. But again, we talking about the Memphis Grizzlies.
I mean, Zach and this is why I almost disagree with you. Bro, Zach Edey's a big presence down there in the paint. Draymond he makes his money by getting to that basket, bro. He was making it really, really difficult for them last night in the plays that I was watching. He was making it really, really difficult. If it wasn't for the athleticism of Jimmy Butler, and what's our guy from the Mill, Golden State center,
Looney.
If it wasn't Kevon Looney, because he struggled a little bit too down there against Zach Edey. It probably wouldn't have been. It probably would have been a wash. It probably would have been a wrap. You know what I mean? Because Looney was balling. Like I said, when I checked in, he was struggling against Zach Edey. That's a big presence in that paint, bro.
Oh, a huge presence. But at the end of the day, Zach Edey ain't gonna be the most skilled center that you have.
That's a fact.
So at the end of the day, yeah, he's 7'4", but is he as effective as any other center that may be 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot? It ain't close.
Yeah, on the defensive end, I will say, and not on the offensive end, but on the defensive end.
Yeah,
he surprised me because he got lighter on his feet, transitioned to the NBA. But as far as like, he was a big defensive presence in college as well. So
absolutely, but you know how it go. If you playing somebody who coming downhill and can offensive rebound, yeah, they lose maybe that 5-4 inches in height, but with that skill and that go, you still got your work cut out at the end of the day. Because now this dude coming at you. So what if you pick up 2 fouls? You can't bully in there. He gonna take a charge. I will be interested just to see how he adjusts as the playoffs go on. That's really it. I think he gonna have to adjust, and if he can get back to hitting 1.5 threes a game, I gotta change my argument because he's such a playmaker. You catching the ball on the 3, reversing, all type of stuff. So you really playmaking it. You in a guard forward type bag. So if he can give us or them, because I'm Bucks and 6, but if he can give them a 3.5 a game, it'll change my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who Golden State play next. They play the Rockets. That's the round for the first round of the playoffs.
So now look at that lineup.
I think because the way Golden State play basketball, I think they're gonna cook the Rockets. I won't say cook. Let me change that. I won't say cook, but I think they're gonna beat them. And that's good for me because that means the Lakers ain't got to see them.
Right.
Because the Lakers match up better against Golden State than the Rockets.
Okay. So this is my point. Who you think causing more fear, Steven Adams or Edey?
Defensively wise, I would say Edey on the defensive end. And I ain't taking nothing away from Steven Adams because he's one of my favorite centers of all time. Like especially in the current generation of the league, because he's big strong dude. But I'm gonna go Edey on the defensive end, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, for sure, and he's experienced.
Yeah. Steven Adams, he's strong as he a dog. He's strong as all get out too, bro. But
Edey don't even got his grown man strength yet.
Yeah.
He's still a baby.
Yeah.
I'm saying Steven Adams, and he's a grown ass man, and he's experienced.
Yeah, but you got Looney. Like I said, Looney. That's not a bad matchup for Looney. That's more closer to somebody that he's willing to face. So he ain't gonna have his hands as full as facing somebody 7'4".
And I think Looney, that's a different conversation. But I'm more so talking about Draymond.
Yeah.
Because you ain't nobody 6'7". He's 6'7" or something like that. He's small. So if you playing that, around the paint, ain't none of this stuff gonna be easy work. All these dudes that they're going to face or potentially face, you're gonna be looking at footers that are experienced. Edey, it was the baby.
Yeah.
That was the play-in. And these dudes that you're gonna face, not only are they good, they're established on good teams. It's going to be more of a challenge. So hopefully he raises his game.
Yeah, I think he will. Like I said, because he had a couple games. These guys are just getting older. That's all it is. But they still who they are. So they still show up. And Draymond has showed up quite a few times this season. But I know what you're saying about these 0-point games or 1-point games that he's been having. But like I said, it's I always say the NBA is about matchups. it depends on how a team matches up with another team. He might have to play a completely different role once they play the Rockets, so he might be fine. Like I said, it was just what they needed yesterday. He couldn't give it to him because the Grizzlies are just a little too young and too good.
Just how he couldn't give him that layup that put him in the play-in anyhow. Get this guy out of here.
No, you got something against Draymond Green.
Bro, he was being OC, bro, and tried to jump into dude and get an and one and trick the layup.
Yeah.
Like, just make the layup, bro.
Yeah.
Then y'all went into OT and lost. He just be doing too much, dog.
Yeah. Some players
Shout out Draymond.
Some players ain't that smart. Some players make mistakes too, so
yeah,
I mean, it's you. How many rings he got? It's worked for him this far. We can't be too mad at him. He got as many rings as LeBron, don't he? Only got 4.
Wardell.
I mean, I get it. It is Wardell. Hey, listen, we can say, hey, you don't do that for Jordan, though. So I ain't trying to hear that. y'all don't say Scotty, like
because Jordan was taking the shots and making the plays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you is. The fans don't know though. You really crazy, so I gotta throw it out there.
You gotta throw it out there. All right, man. But yeah, man. Shout out to Golden State. Like I said, hopefully Draymond figure it out though. Because I like Draymond. Like I said, he's the heartbeat of that team. Sometimes you need a player out there to do the dirty work, and that's him. And we had our own guy over in Milwaukee, Bobby Portis. He would do that dirty work, talk that talk, smoke that weed if you got to.
Man, facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to.
I love Draymond too. For the record, that's why I'm at my wits end with him.
Yeah. Who you got tonight, Chicago or Miami?
Man, flip a coin. They both gonna lose first round, but I'm gonna say Chicago.
I'm going with Miami. They Spo too good, bro. Yeah. So I don't care what they lineup look like. Spo is just a phenomenal coach. So he can outcoach you. So I'm going with Miami.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, and then who else we got playing tonight?
Don't give me a line.
It's Dallas and
Sacramento.
I'm going Dallas.
I'm going Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm going Dallas.
It's just too much AD.
Too much AD.
I'm going Dallas there. So there we are. We got sports out the way. Now y'all can tune back in for all the women listeners who don't like sports. y'all can tap back in. We got sports out the way. So man, that pretty much ended the docket, bro. What else? Anything else you want to add to the list, bro? You said something real funny on Facebook earlier about pickup lines too, bro. What's more annoying, pickup line? What's more annoying than school pickup lines?
Yeah,
as a parent, that's hysterical, bro. Because every time I get in the school pickup line, I want to murder somebody, and I shouldn't be having those thoughts in at the kids' school.
Dog, people are nuts, bro. You know what I hate? In addition to that,
what's that?
When people ride you right, and then they zip by you and go off fast, and you see them at the light. It's like, bro, slow down. Y'all are nuts.
Yeah.
You know, like,
in the rush to go nowhere.
Crazy.
In the rush to go nowhere.
Nuts.
I think the worst thing that ever happened to American traffic is cell phones. I think that's the worst thing. Every time I get next to somebody and they driving stupid, bro, they're on their phone. And I remember police used to enforce the hands-free, bro. I've seen people riding through Austin traffic with their phone up to their ears like this, bro. And you get next to them and they doing 35 and a 50, bro. And you like, what the F, bro? Where's the police at, fam?
Losers, get a life.
Yeah, bro. This is what happened when you defund the police, fam. Like, this is what happened, fam. We should have. Hey, listen. I be send them to jail, fam. I live in the suburb of Austin. Send these people to jail, fam. I'm sick of them, bro.
We don't need this in the clean streets of East Ridge.
Nah, I am sick of them, bro.
I'm a tax-paying citizen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, listen. I wish you could do a citizen arrest like they used to was in the 80s. Citizens arrest.
My last take really is I feel bad for people because here's what's happening. On the road, there's so much anxiety. You got a person who hate their job, right? You really don't want to go, but you got no other option. So you're late, right? Because you never show up late to something you love. So you're late. Now, the reality of you being late again and being fired is a real reality. So now you on the road and you speed and you race and you got all this anxiousness. And so you could just see that in people. So I want to encourage you out there, do what you love, right? Do what you love. And if it's not something you love the ability that you have to do it every day until you find something you love, because it's just a cycle. So if you heard anything from me today, it's that um, how you do some things is how you do everything. So take advantage, because there's someone wishing they can have an opportunity that you squandering away. So until it's time for you to move on and do the next thing, we got to bring integrity back. So work hard, do what you're supposed to do, and then when it's time for you to move on, move on. But you getting out of bed late and then rushing, and everybody's inconveniencing you because they're on the road, we need to just stop, and that applies to life, not just driving.
That part. But a couple things. Number one, you can tell we over the hill. We watch dads, like, because you sound just like somebody daddy. You sound like a sitcom dad. That's what you sound like. Hey, listen, son, this is what you got to do. You got to slow down. You got to get ready. That's how you sound right now. But
You can be late once.
You're right. But listen, this is also a problem with just American culture, and it's a deeper conversation, just American culture, because in its entirety, because this is entitlement, fam. Like, a lot of people feel like they should be doing better than what the space they are in life, and you got to go through that. We all done worked jobs and been in positions that we didn't want to be in and hated getting up doing, but because the era we grew in, we knew if we didn't do it, we wasn't gonna have nothing. You know what I mean? Nowadays, a lot of people's coming from middle class families and people doing a little bit better, so they hating that they got to get up and go to a $20 an hour job, or it's in some cases a lot lower than that. You know what I mean? So it's like, fam, you got it with the position you at in life. That's a stepping stone for you till you get to the next position. So appreciate that position that you at. You know what I mean? A lot of people just don't. Like, a lot of people act like something is happening to them because you got a job that you signed up for.
That part.
You got a job. You signed that. You went and did the interview. They told you what the job description was. You said yes. You've been on that job for a year, and now you mad you got to get up and go to it. You know what it is. Appreciate life, fam, because you might not wake up the next day. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the deeper problem. And then on top of that too, as well, fam, forget these jobs, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people mad because y'all was working from home after the pandemic. Now you got to go back in, or whatever the case may be. If it ain't for you, ride it out until you find you something else, fam. Like, because it's always gonna be something. You should have the ability. Like I said, I'm 42 years old. I'm going back to school to change my skill levels now. Y'all just heard me talk about it last episode. Like, you have to work hard about changing your opportunities and changing the things in your life, fam. Because if not, you gonna keep repeating the cycles, and now you're out there driving reckless on the road, making somebody else pay for something that you signed up for. It's not even a mistake. You know what I mean? It's lunacy at the end of the day, fam. It's absolutely nuts. Like Bernie said, people are crazy. You signed up for that job.
Facts.
Yeah.
And if you are truly who you think you are, then respect that this is just a season and it's just a stepping stone.
That part.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm. Fam, I work 2 jobs. I've done every job under the sun. I've hustled every type of way, fam. I've been an entrepreneur. I've done 1099 work. I've been in the military. I've done some of everything, bro. Each one of those things in my life was a stepping stone for me to get to the next level. It's all it was. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, young people out there who's listening to this. Keep that in mind. It's a stepping stone for you to get to the next level. Hopefully, and what's the Bible verse? This too shall pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it a book, bro. It's just a season.
Hey, and let's be honest. For some of y'all, it's not gonna pass, and that's okay. Some of y'all always gonna be on the fries. You know,
Damn.
maybe you be on the burgers, right?
Dang, I hate to be
And that's okay. You still have breath in your body. But everybody ain't gonna be a CEO.
I ain't gonna hold you. Get off them fries, fam. It ain't nothing sexy about acne from French fry
Dog,
grease.
we're done here.
It ain't nothing sexy about French fry grease acne, fam. Nothing at all. Get off them fries, man. Level up. Go read a book. Go sell a brick. Get off your ass and level up, fam. Nah, it's not cool. Get off them fries, fam. But this is just I'm just keeping it in the book, bro. Get out.
Hey, or make them the best fries on the east side.
On the east side. Look, Calvin's got a job. Calvin's got a job.
Man, with love and respect, man.
That part.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
for
we
real.
appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody who tunes into us weekly and listens to this pod. If someone said that offend you today, grow a spine, because it was all said out of love and with jokes. So grow a spine, grow some thick skin. Put that picture, because truthfully be told, I'm just a podcaster. We got a president that's saying do whatever the hell he want to do.
Hey, when in doubt, be mad at God.
That part,
Don't be mad
you know
at
what I'm
me.
saying? Yeah, don't be mad at me. And if you want to unsubscribe. But before you do, hit that like button or the dislike button.
On your way out.
On your way out, one more time, hit that like button. But man, we appreciate y'all, man, and we'll see y'all. I guess we want to do this again in a couple of days, because
We just pop up.
We just
Sometimes
gonna
you
pop
gotta
up.
pop
Sometimes
up
you gotta
and
pop
show,
out and
you
show
know.
y'all. But we gonna be back before next week, and if not, we'll see y'all next week.
That part.
Because life be life.
Keep that internet on, people.
Yeah, that part. Just make sure you click the notification bell. Go on Spotify, sign up for our podcast. Go on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts at. Make sure you sign up for that and hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a review if you can and if you will. And we'll see you on the next episode of Unlabeled Podcast. Peace.
It's been real.
It's been real.